This week's episode of Tech Newsday is brought to you by Calm, something that our viewers probably need after watching any episode of the show. We'll give you the details about Calm a little bit later, but first, some tech news.
Yeah, last week we covered the story about how a company called Scooter Removal, it's been targeted by 2 lawsuits, one from each of the big electric scooter rental companies like Lime and Bird. The lawsuits alleged that the removal company wasn't just removing these things from private property or from locations that were blocking foot traffic, but that they were actually just taking whatever they could find, and sometimes just waiting for people to get off of them before loading them into a truck and essentially holding them hostage from Lime and Bird. Now, this story led me to talking about how annoying it was when scooters are left inside like garages or apartment complexes by users who don't want anyone else to use them, and how I, got real petty and I'll just constantly ring them, annoying the person who used it as well as their neighbors in an attempt to shame them. Mm-hmm. As we've said before, shame is the only thing.
Shame is the real currency.
Yeah. Now, this led into an idea about hackers using these rings to just annoy everyone in any major city by ringing all of the scooters constantly, creating a noisy hellscape and getting the general public even more upset about these things.
Well, your wish was almost granted, because hackers have in fact found a way to mess with the ringers on electric scooters. It's not exactly the sonic blast that you were hoping for, though it's actually slightly less annoying than what you thought of, but a hell of a lot funnier.
Yes.
Over in Brisbane, Australia, someone was able to hack the speakers in Lime scooters that are supposed to be used to indicate its location, as well as give audible cues when the device is locked and unlocked. And they switched the standard rings and chimes over to voices, blurting out what Lime representatives claim are offensive and sexually suggestive quotes. And I would say a little bit racist too.
Oh yeah, I would say that's definitely a voice that is doing an interpretation of a voice.
Cool prank, but like, yikes.
Yeah.
In one video posted to YouTube, a hacked scooter that was just unlocked blurts out this instead of the typical startup chime.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, but if you're going to ride my ass, then please pull my hair, okay?
Hey, listen. It's kind of funny, but the voice they used is a bit over the top. Yeah.
Could you just not do that voice?
Yeah.
Other quotes that were apparently uploaded to the device include, "Don't take me around because I don't like to be ridden," in addition to random moaning and other weird bits of audio. There's even a video where all of the scooters on one street corner are just constantly playing their audio files at the same time.
Let's do it right together, okay?
It's madness.
Yeah.
And it's inching closer and closer to what Ricky basically wished for just a day or so before that news broke online.
Mm-hmm.
You made it happen. You willed it into existence.
It's like The Secret.
And you sent your will into the earth. Through the Earth's core. And it came right out in Brisbane, Australia.
I just hope they didn't hear us mocking all the animal names.
I think they did.
Well,
not happy.
Obviously, Lime, speaking of people not happy, Lime's not happy about this. But for now, it seems like this exploit is limited to just a few scooters in Brisbane. So it's more likely that someone is just pulling a goof locally. But I mean, it proves that the speakers inside these scooters are hackable.
Yeah.
So they got to get on top of this pretty quick.
Yeah, it sounds like this is something that could be done.
Yeah, anywhere.
Anywhere.
Luckily, it was just here and not widespread. I mean, for them, it would have been funny for everyone else. An Australian PR rep for Lime who spoke with the local news outlet said about the hack, "We are aware that 8 Lime scooters in Brisbane have had their audio files changed by vandals, recording over the existing audio file with inappropriate and offensive speech. It's not smart, it's not funny, and it's akin to changing a ringtone. It's disappointing that someone has taken this opportunity to poke fun at members of the community in a hurtful way." I like I said, kind of funny. It's weird that they compared it to changing a ringtone, which is odd.
Yeah.
Is that something that happened when ringtones were a big thing? Like, the only way I can think of that happening would be like someone grabbing your phone and putting like...
Yeah, I think that was a prank people did.
Well, I don't know. I didn't go... The story I read didn't go into detail about how they did it, but also I'm sure Lime's like, don't fucking put anything about how they did it.
Yeah.
Because there's already these scooters out on the streets. It's not like they're going to go take each and every one and like retrofit it, but...
Yeah. Ooh. Wonder what audio was going to pop up next.
Yeah, hopefully just like a long audio book that plays for hours and hours.
Yeah, and the ones in Hollywood, people are going to start putting their mixtapes on it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah.
Anyway, another thing we spoke about on last week's episode was the absolutely terrible debut of Samsung's new foldable phone/tablet, which lasted about 24 hours in the hands of tech writers and reviewers before they started to break. causing Samsung to delay the launch of one of their biggest pieces of tech this year indefinitely. According to AT&T, the phone might be available sometime in June, but while Samsung will certainly be taking a hit financially over this whole debacle, they might have something up their sleeve to make up for it. If you thought a folding phone was the peak of tech innovation, wait till you get a load of a new leap in television technology targeted at millennials. The Zero, a 43-inch TV that goes vertical.
Yeah, it's radical, dude.
Wow! Get a load of this.
Have you seen? Can you believe it?
Now, all right, we're sure there might be some practical applications for a vertical TV. I mean, they have them in like supermarkets and shit.
Yeah.
Airport terminals.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, but not for watching content.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're rich enough that you want screens on a wall in your bedroom that display information like the weather or something. Maybe you're just really into Snapchat.
Yeah, flight times. It's like,
Yeah.
I want to, you know what I love? The airport. I want to have the arrival and departure times plastered
Yeah.
all over my walls, live updated.
Yeah, it calms me.
Yeah. But you were right about the second part, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what they're going for.
Yeah, it appears as though the reason that this was designed with millennials in mind is so they can sync their phones to it, allowing them to use apps and consume media that's designed to fit on the screen of your mobile device.
Yeah.
What?
Sounds like a pretty niche market for me, but I guess they see profit in it, and they're willing to try anything at this point. So yeah, basically, as we understand it, this TV, it's for watching Snapchat or browsing Twitter or any other media that is made to be vertical because of mobile phones, except you get to watch it on a bigger screen. Isn't that cool? Isn't that hip, kids?
Seems expensive.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like when you're targeting millennials,
The one thing all millennials have, lots of expendable income.
tons of money to spend on a TV that they literally just use for Twitter and Snapchat.
Yeah. Two things though. It is, however, able to be used both horizontally
Oh, classic.
and vertically. You take it and you turn it like that.
Wow.
But because it has that feature of being able to turn, it doesn't look like you could mount it on a wall because it's attached to what looks like an art easel, and it makes the entire device lean backwards. Even in horizontal mode, it has a lean to it like this. We can't imagine
That's gonna be reflecting all the like ceiling lights in your house, just fucking
all
terrible.
that
God
recessed
damn it.
lighting that millennials have in their
Yeah.
houses.
Yeah.
We can't imagine that this would be appealing to watch anything on unless you're standing like directly in front of it, which
Yeah.
seems to be what it's for.
Sometimes I'll just stand here watching my easel TV for hours.
Like Michael Scott in his flat screen. The Samsung's like, you know what millennials can afford? TVs, weird TVs. But you know what they can't afford? Couches. So we have to figure out a way for them to watch TV without sitting down.
Does it come with a harness?
Yeah, it's strapped to
sorta
TV so you don't fall down.
Sex swing-like device that you can just float there.
Every
looking at
30
your
seconds,
TV?
it reminds you not to lock your knees.
Yeah.
And it'll call an ambulance.
Yeah.
Luckily, for now, this is just a concept. It has actually launched in South Korea, just at like a pop-up shop. And I can only assume that's to see if anyone at all is interested in it. But considering that this product starts at $1,600, we're not
43 inches? It's not even that big.
But it's vertical.
I mean, technically, you can make any TV vertical.
Yes. So that's the thing. If you really, really needed to watch something vertically, but on a bigger screen, you could just buy a computer monitor and have the same experience right now for far, far cheaper, and it won't be all leaning backwards. You can just mount it to your wall or do whatever you want with it because it's yours.
Well, I mean, who am I to argue with Samsung?
They obviously know what they're doing.
They got their finger on the pulse.
You know what
of a new
millennials want?
generation.
Folding phones and lean back vertical TVs. How else are they going to watch next gen content from outlets like Cosmopolitan on Snapchat?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess they've solved the issue. Or maybe I'm out of touch.
Moving on now, though, it's time to throw out your Alexa devices again. Because another privacy concern has been added to the list of privacy concerns regarding that Amazon product. And we've gone over a bunch of these in the past, ranging from Alexa potentially being a big old narc, to Alexa accidentally sending recordings of you to random people on your contacts list, to Alexa waking people up with creepy messages in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's a fun device.
And you just let it into your home. At this point, it shouldn't really shock anyone that having a device in your home that's constantly listening and waiting for prompts is a big issue for your personal privacy. But plenty of people out there, they just accept it. We assume it's mostly because anyone who has a modern smartphone is already dealing with the same scenario thanks to Siri and the Google Assistant.
Yeah.
But you would hope to assume that there's no one sitting there listening to what you say to your devices or around your devices.
Right.
That would be creepy, right?
Yeah.
Well, actually, it would be safer to assume that people are listening. Because they are. And thanks to a recent report from Bloomberg, that's been confirmed, at least on Alexa devices.
Yeah, according to their reporting, Amazon.com employs thousands of people around the world to help improve the Alexa digital assistant powering its line of Echo speakers. The team listens to voice recordings captured in Echo owners' homes and offices, which is worrisome.
Wait. I thought Alexa was an AI. You're telling me there's just a little tiny man on the other side.
Inside of it.
Inside of it, just typing out everything I say.
Yeah, it just Googles it for you. Yeah.
Wow.
Amazon, they do insist that it's only doing this to train the devices to better understand speech so they can improve the service.
Mm-hmm.
They also say that the employees have no idea who the recordings that they're listening to are coming from, and that they're only supposed to be hearing recordings of requests made directly to the device. But sometimes they're hearing other shit as well.
Oh.
The article states that the global team of employees goes through as many as 1,000 audio clips per shift. That's per person as well. This is the quote from the article. The work is mostly mundane. One worker in Boston said he mined accumulated voice data for specific utterances such as Taylor Swift and annotated them to indicate the searcher meant the musical artist, as opposed to all of the other Taylor Swift requests, I guess.
This seems like something they could do with like beta testers just as easily.
Yeah, like a very clear opt-in, not just something that you're automatically opt-in to or something like that. Yeah, in the privacy of an actual Amazon business or corporate office. But I guess you got to have the random shit that people are looking for.
I guess. I mean, Samsung taught us that sometimes you just don't think of some things during beta testing. You gotta send it out in the real world.
Yeah. The article also states that occasionally, the listeners pick up things Echo owners likely would rather stay private. A woman singing badly off-key in the shower, or a child screaming for help.
Oh.
The teams use internal chat rooms to share files when they need help parsing a muddled word, or come across an amusing recording. Unsettling,
cool.
Especially the child screaming for help.
Yeah.
But also the idea that these employees are sharing audio clips with each other in a chat room to laugh about all of us.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No.
Now there's a setting that you can turn off which indicates that you deny the use of your recordings for development of new features, but, quote, the company says people who opt out of that program might still have the recordings analyzed by hand over the regular course of the review process. So you can opt out, but not really.
Yeah, if it's a really cool request, we want to listen to it.
I'd like to opt out. All right, sir, you've been opted out.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you winking and using air quotes?
Yeah.
And regarding the anonymity aspect of this whole program, it seems like you might not be as anonymous as Amazon says you are because, quote, a screenshot reviewed by Bloomberg shows that the recordings sent to the Alexa reviewers don't provide a user's full name and address, but are associated with an account number, as well as the user's first name and the device's serial number. So you'd imagine it wouldn't really be all that difficult for someone working there to identify you with relative ease if they wanted to. You just got to connect a few dots.
Hey, what's the serial number of that Alexa device that this person with this first name bought on our website that we own all the data to?
Yeah, what's the last name? All right, Facebook.com, LinkedIn.com. All right, and
there we go. Now we know who the lady was that sang badly in the shower. Mm-hmm. And it was Taylor Swift.
Wow.
It all comes full circle.
It's such a twist.
Yeah.
And again, as much as we can tell you to just, throw your Alexa device away into the ocean perhaps, we're living in a world where every piece of tech you own is listening to you, tracking your movements, and looking at all your pictures. They know everything about you and all your family and friends. So throwing away your Alexa, it's like taking one swing of an axe to a giant tree. Unless you're very strong.
Yeah, unless you're Paul Bunyan.
Yeah. And I don't think you are.
No.
Yeah, we're kind of just forced to deal with this kind of shit unless you attempt to just completely disconnect from modern society, which is becoming more and more appealing.
Yeah. I want to live in a tiny home off the grid.
Yeah.
And I want to use my own power from the sun.
Yeah. I'm going to harness the energy that's up there in the sky.
It's free.
Off the grid.
Until we figure out how to charge for it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to read books and be bored as fuck. God, this sucks.
That's the problem. Oh
my God.
This is how people lived? Anyways, now it might be a good time to take a break, calm down, and luckily this week's sponsor is trying to help you do just that. Stress is a worldwide epidemic. We're working longer hours, we're inundated with the constant news cycle, and we're more connected than ever before. Stress, it's a part of life, but it can very easily affect our overall well-being. That's why we're happy to introduce this week's sponsor, Calm, the #1 app to help you reduce your anxiety and stress and help you sleep better. More than 40 million people around the world have already downloaded it, and if you head to calm.com, I guess I have to spell it, calm.com,
Calm.com/tech,
TECH, you're going to get 25% off a Calm premium subscription, which includes guided meditation on issues like anxiety, stress, and focus, including a brand new meditation each day.
I'm going to do mine extra calm.
Yeah.
There are also sleep stories.
No, speak up. They have to hear it.
I can't do this. There are also sleep stories, which are bedtime stories for adults. Nothing wrong with that.
No, it's not weird.
Designed to help you relax.
Yeah.
It could be cool. Head to the magical lavender fields of southern France with Stephen Fry. Okay, if he's involved, that's awesome. Or explore the moonlit jungles of Africa with Leona Lewis. They even have soothing music and more. Okay, it's basically like Planet Earth, but audio.
Yeah,
which I can absolutely see being relaxed.
I think and hope that on comms they don't have Richard Attenborough telling you that the world's dying in 20 years, because that would be it.
This ice sheet used to measure 20 miles wide. Now, just a lone 10-foot piece of ice with one very sad polar bear.
That's not what they're doing. They're trying to get you unstressed.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Anyway, they even have soothing music and more.
Yeah.
Get relaxed. You can get 25% off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/tech. That's calm.com/tech. Get unlimited access to all of Calm's content today at calm.com/tech.
It's a fun website address.
Calm.com. Get calm and stop stressing. Okay. Now that we're all calm,
.com.
Let's just jump back into that stress, because we can't mention privacy concerns without bringing up Facebook. So here's your weekly delete your Facebook story. Although this might actually be considered positive because it's not about yet another big problem that you, the user, is facing. Instead, it gives us a slight glimmer of hope that someone is actually going to do something about all of Facebook's breaches of privacy and maybe hold them accountable for at least some of the shit that they've done.
Yeah. On Thursday of last week, not one, not two, but 3 different investigations were launched against the tech giant because of some recent issues. One was from the Irish Data Protection Authority, who announced that they were, quote, notified by Facebook that it had discovered that hundreds of millions of user passwords relating to users of Facebook, Facebook Lite, and Instagram were stored by Facebook in plain text format in its internal servers. We spoke about this and pretty much all of the stuff that they're being investigated for. This Irish board here, they've officially commenced a statutory inquiry in relation to this issue to determine whether Facebook has complied with its obligations under relevant provisions of the GDPR, aka Europe's General Data Protection Regulation. Surprise, they haven't, but with all of these investigations, it's like, will they face anything? I don't know. It's just going to be confirming the fact that they did probably break laws and regulations.
Yeah. Anyway, the second investigation was launched by Canadian authorities, who confirmed that Facebook had broken that country's privacy laws during the whole Cambridge Analytica scandal, which they claim exposed the personal information of more than 600,000 Canadians.
It was very rude.
A statement from the Office of the Privacy Commissioner of Canada lists unauthorized access, lack of meaningful consent from friends of friends, no proper oversight over privacy practices of apps, and overall lack of responsibility for personal information as the reasons given for proof that Facebook had broken Canadian law. The office also confirmed that they plan to take these issues to federal court so they can force the company to correct their practices. Do the judges wear wigs up there still?
I don't know. But they said that like fucking 10 years ago, they approached Facebook about all of these problems and gave them specific guidelines to follow to operate in Canada, and Facebook did absolutely none of that.
They don't give a shit. Like it's literally their company motto was like move fast and break things. Like their entire ethos from the beginning, and it's become the ethos of Silicon Valley as a culture is just like, don't ask for permission, just go ahead and do something. Yeah. The law is never going to punish you that hard for like basically being the first one to do a crime that previously didn't exist. So just fucking do it.
Yeah. Facebook, do a crime.
Yeah.
The third investigation, it's being spearheaded by the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, and it's regarding Facebook's harvesting 1.5 million users' contacts without authorization. In her statement on the issue, she says, "It is time Facebook is held accountable for how it handles consumers' personal information. Facebook has repeatedly demonstrated a lack of respect for consumers' information while at the same time profiting from mining that data. Facebook's announcement that it harvested 1.5 million users' email address books, potentially gaining access to contact information for hundreds of millions of individual consumers without their knowledge, is the latest demonstration that Facebook does not take seriously its role in protecting our personal information." Oh, and it's also kind of important to point out that these new investigations, they were launched after Facebook themselves said that the company is expecting to pay out somewhere between $3 billion and $5 billion worth of fines to the FTC, thanks to the FTC's investigations into Facebook's handling of user data. Reps for Facebook even said that the company had already set aside $3 billion during their first quarter just in case the FTC came knocking. Don't leave that money on the table, FTC.
Yeah.
It's there. They said it's there. Just take it.
Well, yeah, if they've set aside $3 billion, they probably actually owe $6 billion.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't take the first offer.
No, you gotta ask for more.
Yeah, talk them up. But now let's talk about YouTube and the ongoing battle that users are having to face regarding copyright strikes from predatory companies trying to squeeze every last cent out of creators, despite sometimes standing on shaky legal ground to do so, and other times just outright abusing the strike system without having the right to do so. A new challenger has appeared in the war against creators, and his name is Jimmy Fallon. A couple days ago, while doing the marketing rounds for Avengers Endgame, Brie Larson appeared on The Tonight Show and, at the behest of Fallon, put on a headset for a little round of the popular VR title Beat Saber. Boom, 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 boom. It was a pretty boilerplate segment, which consisted mainly of Fallon excitedly just giggling, like he always does, through her entire playthrough. But here's where it gets weird. The devs behind Beat Saber are obviously very aware of YouTube and Twitch streamers who want to play their game live or post videos of themselves playing it. So obviously, they whitelisted a bunch of songs from the game so that creators could use them and monetize the videos that they were included in. It works out great for the creator because they get to make content, and it works out great for the devs because it's free marketing for their game.
They just left it on the table, all that free marketing.
Take it.
The song that they had Brie Larson play on The Tonight Show was one of those whitelisted songs. But when the clip of Brie playing Beat Saber was uploaded onto the official YouTube channel of The Tonight Show, NBC obviously added that clip to the Content ID system so that people couldn't re-upload the clip or monetize any parts of it. It's safe to assume, obviously, that NBC does this with all their content.
Yeah.
But because they did this, anyone who'd previously uploaded gameplay footage that includes the track that was used in the segment could have the video struck for copyright, with all future monetization going to NBC, even though NBC doesn't actually own the rights to the song itself. It just happened to be playing during the segment. It turns out, yeah, people were struck and have been getting struck because of this. They started obviously posting screenshots of the content strike on social media and sites like Reddit.
Yeah.
Probably pretty upset about
Someone
it.
on Reddit actually called it on like the Beat Saber subreddit, because like someone posted, they're like, "Oh man, the game's getting a lot of press. It's on The Tonight Show." And then like one of the top comments is like, "I have a weird feeling like YouTube is going to somehow think that Jimmy Fallon owns this game now," and that's literally what happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, now NBC's getting a bunch of money funneled to them by creators who simply uploaded footage of themselves playing Beat Saber, a game that NBC doesn't own. And yeah, that's all just because NBC featured the game on one of their shows.
It's free money. It's on the table.
Yeah, the money's not going to creators. Neither is it going to the devs who actually made the game. Go to Jimmy Fallon, which kind of sounds illegal, but hey, not a lawyer.
Not a lawyer.
This is not legal advice.
No.
Anyway, the devs actually responded to the outcry online, and it looks like their hands are tied and they can't do anything about it.
Well, they couldn't. They ended up fixing it, but
they seemed they're just like,
guys, we don't even know where to start with this.
Yeah, they tweeted, quote, "We know about this, but unfortunately this is a mistake made by YouTube. People should dispute it to try to have it removed. Hopefully it helps. At this moment, there's nothing we can do about it. For YouTube, this is not a topic."
Tweets continued, "We hope if people start to dispute the claim, maybe YouTube will get a notification or something that the track is not owned by the hashtag Fallon Tonight. We have Content ID turned off for this track, but really, we are helpless now. We really don't know what to do with it at the moment. This was not planned by anyone. That's really just a messed up YouTube algorithm. I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy's team didn't even know about the fact that this is happening." Sad face.
I almost guarantee
they had no idea.
Yeah, it's not NBC's fault. It's YouTube's stupid-ass algorithm.
Yeah.
fault.
I will reach out to Jimmy's team. Maybe they can help, but I am not sure about that. So yeah, I mean, the current system on YouTube, it's just so broken that people who actually own the legal copyright to something couldn't prevent people from getting false strikes by a huge media company. Luckily, though, as we said, the issue, it finally seems to have been sorted out just a few days after it was brought to their attention. Now, having said that, I'm assuming the parent company at NBC and whoever is the one just like fucking doing a bang-up job on all those meetings.
Baby, we got a cash cow going.
Yeah, like every quarterly meeting, they get to go to their boss with all these graphs and being like, look how we're doing on YouTube.
Apparently, we own a video game.
Yeah.
And it's doing gangbusters.
They're probably pretty upset that they're missing out on potentially thousands of dollars from doing absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you would hope that this scenario is a good test case and it helps YouTube fix the broken system, or at least some part of it. But who are we kidding? It won't. And it only got fixed this time because the devs actually cared enough to pressure YouTube and NBC to fix it. And the other bad part about this is that their advice was for small YouTubers to fight NBC.
Yeah.
In what the end game of fighting a copyright strike like this is going to court with NBC.
Yeah. It's such a, I mean, it's YouTube's fault, but it's also just the fact that I say this a lot, but global copyright law is just terribly, terribly out of date.
Yeah, it's not prepared for the modern.
It's not built for any of this shit. Our buddy Eric.
Oh,
Big Money Salvia. He owned
the rights to this song.
A hell of a weekend, just like trying over and over and over to get his new video up and just getting like copyright claims for songs he owns the rights to and like. Yeah. Just not being able to do anything about it.
Some Russian company or something just kept striking it. So he had to do it without any audio. He kept like taking different parts of it out to see what would work.
Yeah, absolutely maddening.
Yes.
But I guess he finally won.
Yeah.
But at what cost? Anyways, here's something fun to leave you with today. 2 musicians recently used AI to create a fake death metal band called DataBots that uses information gathered by uploading tracks from real death metal bands to create a non-stop stream of artificial intelligence-created music. And they're streaming it 24/7 on YouTube. In an interview with Motherboard, one of the people behind the project, CJ Carr, explained that, quote, most nets we trained made shitty music soup. The songs would destabilize and fall apart. This one was special, though. And the writer said that Carr's guess is because the music of the band they used as an example for the AI to learn from is played at such a high tempo, it stabilizes what the bot puts out. He added that, quote, it's autonomous, running on a Linux server somewhere in South Carolina. You're hearing everything it makes.
Yeah, it's just literally a constant stream that is evolving as you watch it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, a lot of it, like, there's parts where it's, like, loud and fast and aggressive, but, like, the parts, like, in between those, it's, like, it is sort of just noise, but it's like kind of like cool movie soundtrack-esque noise.
Well, and they apparently did some albums by, this was a specific band from Vancouver that they fed in for this one, but they've created albums where they put in like Meshuggah and stuff like that and just created, like AI-created albums. But the problem has always been where you would use like classical music or pop songs. A big one is Christmas carols, and they'd put it in, and it wouldn't make any sense because it just doesn't make sense. It sounds bad, and it isn't appealing to the human ear. And on the other end of that, like Terrence Southern, friend of the show, did an AI-created album, but the AI created beats and stems and certain melodies, and then they would take that and improve them or change change things about them and then compose a song afterwards. This is interesting because, like he says, the tempo is so fast that it's hard for it to not make at least somewhat of an appealing sound based on the music that you're listening to. To the uneducated ear, this probably just sounds like real death metal. Of course, to me, a metal purist, it sounds like trash, obviously. Anyways,
they're never going to take our jobs.
There's something for you to enjoy this week while you wait for our next episodes. Now, I've got to admit, it's going to be a bit light for us this week because I'm getting married.
Boom.
And the wedding is across the damn country. Plus, Elliot's coming too, so...
Deep in the bayou of Georgia.
There's no fucking bayous. It's North Georgia.
Yep, the bayous of North Georgia.
Anyways, yeah, Elliot's coming too, so it'll be a little bit rough this week, but we're going to try to get 2 or 3 more out after this one. So go easy on us a little bit. Thank you so much. You're at least going to get Weekly Weird News and probably News Dump. But we do have good news. We have recent episodes that are just ready for you to watch. They're sitting there on the table waiting for you to take them. That's last week's episode of Weekly Weird News where we bring out our amazing Australian accents.
Oi.
and also a new episode of News Dump. You can support the show by, checking out the sponsors or heading to Patreon. Links to both in the description. And we'll see you soon. Weekly Weird News coming up. Bye-bye.